Hi, I'm Andy, and in this video you're going to learn how to play Naudo's version of Mr. Sandman. And what I'm going to do first is I'm going to teach you how to play the chords and keep a rhythm, and then in part 2 I'm going to teach you the melody, and then in part 3 I'm going to show you how to put it all together at the same time. Okay, as Naudo begins this piece, he's playing an A major chord in the 5th position. And if you know how to play an F chord, you'll recognize the fingering. Here's how it goes. You start with your first finger, and you cover 2 strings like this on the 5th fret, so that makes a bar chord. Then you're going to play your middle finger on the 6th fret, string 3, and you're going to play your 3rd finger on the 7th fret, string 4. Also include the open A. So we're going to hit 5 strings, and I'm just doing a finger picking pinch on this. Okay, let's move on. There's your A major chord, first chord of the song. The song's in the key of A, so this is a pretty important chord. Okay, the next chord, I put a star on my transcription because normally when you see jazz players play this chord, it's a B minor 7. What they do is they just use one finger and they bar straight across the 7th fret like this. And there you go, that's it. My thumb is hitting the low string, so I get my bass note B. I'm skipping over the 5th string entirely. I'm not even playing that at all. And then my fingers are playing the 4th string, the 3rd string, and the 2nd string. And there's my chord, B minor 7. Okay, now Naudo doesn't play it that way though. He just bars 4 strings like this. Just bar only the 4 skinniest strings. And then to cover the 6th string, he takes his middle finger and reaches out and covers it like this. Okay, I guess I'd call that a reverse fingering because that feels a little bit awkward. But he tends to play this chord this way every time, so if you watch the video, you'll see this. Okay, and so what we're going to do is we're just going to switch back and forth between those 2 chords, and that's the intro. 4 beats on each chord, so it sounds like this. Notice I'm just playing the bar chord. Okay, practice that with me. That's the intro. Okay, now let's learn the first verse of the tune. You're going to start on an A chord, which we already studied. Now we're going to play a G sharp 7. Okay, I'm going to teach you that chord. So take your first finger and do a full bar all the way across the 4th fret. Then simply put your middle finger in there on the 5th fret, string 3, and there you go, that's the chord. Now I'm going to pluck the 6th string with my thumb so I can get that 4th fret G sharp bass note. And then I'm going to completely skip over the 5th string, and I'm going to pluck the 4th string and the 3rd string and the 2nd string. There we go. Okay, one more time, you might see Naudo play it with a different fingering. He might just cover only 4 strings with the bar, and then one more time, use your middle finger to reach over to that bass note. We still have one more note to cover, 5th fret on string 3, so we're going to have to use our 3rd finger. Okay, you might see that on the video. Next chord, C sharp 7, sounds like this. Let's learn that chord, C sharp 7, 3rd chord of the verse. Here we go. You're going to bar the 4th fret, but you're not going to bar all the strings. You're only going to bar 5 strings, like this. Then you're going to place your 3rd finger on the 6th fret, string 4. Then you're going to place your pinky finger on the 6th fret, string 2. There we go. There's a C sharp 7. Okay, let's move on. The next chord in the verse is F sharp 7. Okay, this is the same as the chord we previously played, G sharp 7. It's just 2 frets lower. So you're going to recognize this one. This chord starts on the 2nd fret. You bar all the strings. And then you place your middle finger on the 3rd fret, string 3. There you go. One more time, you might see Naudo play the fingering like this. Okay, let's move on. The next chord in the tune is B7. Okay, one more time, you're going to recognize this fingering because we just played a C sharp 7, and so we're just moving it 2 frets down. Here's a B7. Okay, so you'll recognize this chord. Bar across 5 strings on the 2nd fret like that. Place your 3rd finger on the 4th fret, string 4. Place your pinky finger on the 4th fret, string 2. There you go. Okay, now if you watch the video carefully, Naudo actually is not playing the 3rd finger note. That note is doing something else with the melody. So I'm just going to take that finger away. So here's a simplified version of the B7 where I'm missing the note on the 4th string. Okay, let's keep going. The next chord is actually a pair of chords. You have E7 suspended and then E7. Let's learn those. Okay, E7 suspended. You're going to place your 2nd finger on the 2nd fret, string 5, like that. And you're going to place your 3rd finger on the 2nd fret, string 3. There we go. There's your E7 suspended. The next chord simply removes the 3rd finger and places the 1st finger on the 1st fret, string 3. So you'll notice I just changed one note. I went from this chord to this chord. Okay, all the chords so far in the song have been 4 beats for each chord, but in this pair of chords you do 2 beats for each chord. So 1, 2, 1, 2. Okay, now at this point we're back to our A chord, which is the key note of the song. It's the original chord we played at the beginning of the tune. Okay, but we're not done. There's a couple chords left, but they're easy. The next chord played is F7, and it's a little bit different than your standard F7. If you watch the video, he's barring on the 8th fret like this. Okay, so bar across the 8th fret. You don't have to cover every string. Just cover 5 of the strings. That's all you need is just the bar, no other fingers. And then simply slide that 1 fret down and you'll have E7. One more time, this is a measure that's split between 2 chords. So in other words, 2 beats on F7 and 2 beats on E7. I guess really that's like a F13 and a E13. Okay, that's it. Now we hit a repeat sign, so you go back to the top. Okay, so he's going to repeat all that stuff. So I'm going to play the whole first line for you. Here is the first verse, played nice and slow. Try to play along with me. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, now we're about to repeat. When we repeat the verse, you mostly play it the same way, except you do change a couple of the chords at the end of the line. Okay, so I'm going to go through the repeat of the verse. This would be the second half of the verse. Okay, here we go. So you're still starting on A. No surprise there. You're still going to play the G sharp. Still play C sharp 7. And you still play F sharp 7. Okay, Okay, but here's where it's different. On the first line you had a B7. Okay, but no, we're going to play B minor 7. Okay, and Naudo does something interesting right here. You can tell he's improvising, and you can tell that he really thinks fast, because what he does is he plays the B minor 7 just once in second position, and then he switches up and plays the same chord in the 7th position, like this. Okay, I'm going to guide you through that. That's tricky. B minor 7 in the second position is like this. You bar across 5 strings like this on the 2nd fret with your first finger, and then you press down the 3rd fret on string 2, like that. There it is. Remember, Naudo sometimes does these chords where he bars part of the strings, reaches over with his middle finger for the bass note, and then adds his 3rd finger for the extra note. You might see him do that on the video. I prefer to play it with a straight bar. Okay, so just play it once, and then what you're going to do is you're going to go up and you're going to find the matching notes up in the 7th position, and here's how it goes. Your middle finger is going to play 7th fret on a low string. That's your B, that's a bass note. And then you're going to play 7th fret on the 3rd string, probably with your 3rd finger. And then you're going to play 7th fret on the 2nd string, probably with your pinky. So this chord only has 3 notes, but it sounds pretty much the same as the last chord we played. Just hit it once. Okay, then we're going to change one of the notes. We're going to remove this pinky note on the 2nd string and take it away. And instead we're going to play the 6th fret on string 2 with our index finger. Very dissonant chord there. So it sounds like this. Okay, I'm going to go through that whole move. So we started on the 2nd fret, jump to the 7th fret, then switch the fingering. So it sounds like this. B minor 7 flat 5. Okay, let's do the last couple chords. Last couple chords are A with an E in the bass. Let's learn that. I'm barring up on the 9th fret, and I'm barring 3 strings. And then I'm adding my middle finger in there on the 10th fret, string 2. Kind of looks like a D finger shape if you know how to play a D, except we're up in the 9th position. And with this 3 high notes, you add in the low E for your bass note. So it's an A chord up top, but the bass note's an E. It sounds like this. Just hit it twice. Okay, then we're going to play an E7, but the fingering is a little bit different than your standard E7, so let me show you that. I'm placing my first finger on the 7th fret, string 3. And then I'm placing my 3rd finger on the 9th fret, string 2. So kind of a power chord finger shape right there. And then I'm going to place my pinky finger on the 9th fret on string 1. So it looks like this. And you add the low E for your bass note. So you hit it twice. Okay, so this move sounds like this. And then can you guess what chord we're ending on? A, of course. Same chord the song started on. There we go. Okay, I'm going to play through all of the 2nd line of the verse, because there's some tricky moves in the middle there. So here it goes. 2nd line of the 1st verse. 1, 2, 3, go. There we go. I think he probably stays on this B minor a little bit longer. You know, I think that's probably 2 measures. Let's try that second line of the verse one more time. We're going to stay on this 7th fret B minor for another measure. We'll stay there longer. Okay, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Here it is. Now jump high. There we go. Okay, now let's do the entire song all the way through with the chords. Here we go. We're starting with the intro. We're going to play the intro twice, and then we're going to play both lines of the first verse. 1, 2, 3. Intro. First verse. Go. Second line. See you in part 2.